Welcome to the Rodney Anderson Radio Show.
Robbie, you ever had an April Fool's joke pulled on you?
I have. It's been a while.
We have a special guest that's going to be on at 3:15 this afternoon.
Oh, nice.
And she is a nationally acclaimed speaker. She is a writer. She is a trainer on etiquette issues.
All right. Everybody can use a little of that.
Oh, you're going to need this.
All right.
Because we're going to give you the questions today on how to not get fired at work.
How to not get fired.
With practical jokes, because a lot of people today are going to get fired at work by the practical jokes.
Crossing the line.
Colleen is an author, speaker, and trainer on etiquette issues. She can talk about all kinds of April Fool's pranks at the office and offer tips that will keep you from getting in trouble. So this afternoon, Colleen Rickenbacher, we'll try that name 10 times over.
Say that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try.
We'll have to ask her some questions also, because it's my understanding she taught etiquette to some of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Oh, nice.
On CMT.
I bet she's got some stories there.
Oh, I'm sure. So we're going to ask her all that. And she's written several books. I mean, 4 books out there. One is Be on Your Best Teenage Behavior.
Oh, gosh.
That book should be a
In
nationwide #1 New York Times bestsellers with the teenagers that are out there.
No kidding.
And so we're going to be discussing that with her today. April Fool's is today. But when we come back, our special guest of the day, Colleen Rickenbacher. Yes, she is. She is an author, a speaker, and a trainer of etiquette issues. But the topic of the day, how to not get fired.
Yeah.
Pulling a practical joke.
Good luck with that.
Oh, yeah. We'll be talking to her when we come back. 1-800-EXPRESS is our number. You can listen to our show 3 to 4 p.m. every afternoon right here on the mighty 1190 a.m. You can always listen to our show podcast on rodneyanderson.com, and we will be right back. So let's bring in our expert of the day. She is nationally acclaimed. She has traveled the world. She is an expert in business etiquette. Her name is Colleen Rickenbacher. Tried to say that 10 times over fast and faster. And Colleen, thank you for being with us today. It's great to have you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. So do people lose jobs by pulling practical jokes?
Actually, they can, and they have. So that's when they actually take them to the far extreme, and they've either been put on notice or, yes, they've actually lost their jobs over them.
So what are some of the pranks that people find that are fun and clever that hopefully won't get them fired?
Well, some of the ones that won't get them fired are just, when you get in the office, maybe that's the only day that person ever shows up real early in the morning to get there. But they've gone around and put tape over the speaker's part of their phone. So when they're picking up the phone, they keep saying to people, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" Because you've taped over the speaker of their headset or their actual phone. And then some people have actually gone in, this is horrible, I think, that they put bubble wrap under the toilet seat. So when someone goes in, people will catch on eventually to that one, but they've done it. People have put up fake doors. Do you realize how long that would take to put up a fake door?
No kidding.
So someone walks around the corner, all of a sudden there's a new door there. They've gone in the night before and actually constructed a fake door that people will walk into it, or they get totally confused. They've actually done this to the boss. And, it's fun. Most importantly, though, you have to understand the environment that you're in. Some offices, it would be hysterical.
Right.
Some other offices, not so much.
Yeah, and sometimes people don't play practical jokes very good, but sometimes they are fun, and sometimes you can get people.
You can.
Yeah, and where and when do you draw the line when that joke or that prank becomes inappropriate?
Well, like some of the other things, like, putting glue down on soap dispensers and things like that, that is fun too. But where you have to start drawing the line, when they actually can hurt somebody, where it's harmful to that person, where a lot of people put things where maybe they come like off of the fan, off a ceiling fan. You go up there and people have strategically placed marshmallows, and they turn their fan on when they get in there, and all of a sudden these marshmallows come down crashing on their head. That's not going to hurt anybody. That would be funny, especially when everybody's in the doorway looking, laughing, and everybody can come in on the joke with you. But when it's something heavier or something that can maybe spill down and they look up and it gets in their eyes or something like that, you've pulled it a little bit too far. You've gone too far. and maybe it doesn't actually hurt them, but it's totally embarrassing to them. And this is a person that, another person may deserve that kind of joke, and another person is they're harmless. They're almost to the point of you're bullying them. And so that's where you have to draw the line. And this is where it gets into the point where it's a little bit of almost a harassment more than so as an April Fool's joke.
Can a person go overboard with pranks and get fired?
Yes, where it becomes where they've done it, and maybe this year they've been warned that it was disruptive to the work, that they've held back work for like 45 minutes to an hour, even a couple of hours, where they've gone in and maybe done something to the copy machines. The biggest jokes now happen in computers, where people go in and they'll do things in the systems that seem harmless, but maybe it shuts down the systems for a little bit, or they'll go in and do different things, that they feel are really cool, really funny. Just doing something to maybe a mouse or something, that's not going to hurt it, but maybe they go in and set the system up a certain way, and people are trying to fix it right away when they see something goes wrong. Shuts the system down for a couple hours, they get a warning. Next year, April Fool's comes along again, they do something again. These things go in their record, and yes, this could actually be grounds for firing somebody because it's gone beyond the joke, it's disruptive to that office, or it's damaging to equipment, or it's harassment to somebody else. So all those could be going in their record. It's not going to be something where someone done something and they're going to say, okay, you're fired. Chances are that's not going to happen. But if something repeatedly happens after they've been told, year after year, it gets to be, okay, that's enough of a joke, we're over. Do something that's not as harmful or disruptive or hurtful to somebody.
Okay, and Rob, our special guest today, she was named one of the 25 most influential people in the meeting industry by the Meeting News magazine. She was recognized as the Meeting Partner of the Year by the National Speakers Association, and she received the Marion N. Kirshner Award from Meeting Professionals. So our special guest today, Colleen, is it pronounced Rickenbacher?
Yes, it is.
It is, huh? And
You've
so
done very well with both my names.
Yeah, so we knew that. And so one of the things that happens is, on the practical jokes, have you ever had one pulled on you?
Oh, yes.
What was the funniest one that you had pulled on you? Because
Well,
I pulled one today that was probably over the top, but oh well. So sad.
Well, you're still there, so you didn't get fired. So
I didn't get fired. May have got fired. But so what are some of them that what have some of them that have been pulled on you?
Well, I'm an anal kind of person. I try to be very, very organized, and if I go in there and I want everything to be everything has to be right in order. And I went in one morning, this was quite a few years ago, I went in one morning and I was ready, I had all my papers, I had everything ready to go, and everybody was there, and the administrative assistant walked up to me, she said, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but the meeting has been canceled for today. And I was just, I prepared, I was so ready for it, everything else, so I was, totally just bummed. I was just so upset about the whole thing. And so I just went about my morning, and all of a sudden everybody's in the meeting except for me, because I was told there was no meeting. And so I went on, and I was doing other things. And so then I had to walk into the meeting late, and, so that it just turned around. Me, the person that's always there 10 minutes early, and everything else that happens for my own meeting, and I showed up late and wasn't prepared. So it was just kind of a joke to me that I'm always getting on people for not being ready for a meeting. And another person said that the boss wanted to see me when I was working in an office. And, of course, I was hyper. I wasn't going to do anything that was bad, but when they said the boss wants to see you, and, again, they made it late enough in the morning that I stressed the morning, thinking, okay, what did I do? What do I need to have ready? What did I do? I walked in, the boss.
Like
Exactly. And, so I walked in expecting, whatever. And I walked in and I said, yes, what would you like? And he looked at me, like, what are you doing in here? And and I'm looking at him, he's looking at me kind of saying, I could have just killed the person. He didn't want me for anything.
Right.
And, of course, they all laughed. So I'm sure mine were minute compared to what you pulled off today.
Oh, but I pulled off one of the best ones, and she's not really happy probably with me, but
Are you going to share it with us?
Yeah, I sent it by email, and one of the things I don't email a whole lot, but I sent it by email.
Right.
And which you never send things by email.
Exactly, exactly.
Especially to the person you're dating.
Oh, this is getting worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you pull it off on that, and then all of a sudden she's a school teacher.
Right.
So she's in the middle of testing, and you're pulling this off knowing that it's going to happen.
Oh, my goodness.
Mhm.
Oh, my goodness. This couldn't have been a fake breakup.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't a breakup, but it was kind of over the top. So anyway, but it was a lot of fun. And then I said April Fools, and it was I thought it was great.
you thought it was
She didn't like it so much.
Oh, we'll see. I haven't had a chance to talk to her, but by the first text, I was like, she's like, I won't be seeing you tonight.
Oh, ouch. Oops. Maybe, hopefully that's an April Fool.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. So, hey, Colleen, you've done a lot of things around the world. I mean, you spoke around the world, but you also have worked with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Oh.
I have.
Tell us about that.
Oh, they're the most wonderful ladies in the world. I'll tell you that up front. I worked with them on and off for about 15 years, and just classy ladies that, along with them obviously being extremely talented in dance and everything they do, they take a lot of media classes and etiquette because they are in front of people other than dancing on the field. They are invited, obviously also around the world. Part of their dance team goes around the world. So people watch them constantly on and off the field. So they need to know which fork they should be picking up, which napkin they will be using, how to address a person, meaning when they should stand up to shake someone's hand or call them by their proper name or, honorable or whatever the case may be. I mean, these people meet, kings and queens around the world when they travel.
Right.
And so it's very important that they do that. And so I think it's very classy that each year that they are trained in the etiquette side of how to deal with people, off the field because they carry, people really respect them. And so I think it's very important that we do that.
Yeah, and it's first class that you get
That's
to work
awesome.
with that organization. You've traveled around the world. Where's some of your favorite places that you've spoken? And you've traveled Italy, some of the places, Zimbabwe.
As a matter, yes, Zimbabwe was unbelievable. I went over there for the government, and we spoke to every place that was a tourism area where we addressed the people and how they could draw people to come to that country. And so I addressed every different area that would be an attraction to a tourist to come to Africa, all different parts of Africa. It's a whole, obviously it's a whole different area over there, but just the way the media is, tourist attractions and everything in that area. But I had to say the most favorite place I've ever gone is to Bangkok. Loved Bangkok. It was exciting. It was crowded. It was just, it's an exciting part of the world. I did a government program in Shanghai, or not in Shanghai, in Singapore. Very, very different. Very, again, government-driven. And it's a little different for a woman going into a lot of different countries because not that they don't respect a woman there, but you have to be, sometimes a man has to introduce you first, the way that you dress. Different parts of your body need to be covered, including your shoulders or maybe your elbows or your knees or your head. And just the approach of a woman in business in another country is totally different than it is in the United States. And I leave Sunday. I'm going to Hong Kong and then into China. And so it's great.
So you're a world traveler there. Colleen, when we come back, I'm going to ask you to hold for a few minutes because I want to talk about the books you've written. Like
okay,
one of them,
great.
be on your best teenage behavior.
Yes.
We might want to get some tips, and we're going to talk about your books. Where can everybody find you, Colleen?
Online at ColleenRickenbacher.com.
That's Colleen, Rickenbacher, RICKENBACHER.com. And we'll be right back, and we'll have more with Colleen in just a few moments. Our special guest of the day, Colleen Rickenbacher. Her resume goes on and on and on. I mean, she is named as one of the 25 most influential people in the meeting industry. She is
Been on the board of directors on so many organizations and companies.
I mean, this lady has done it all.
Traveled the world.
And we're honored to have her on our show today. I mean, I don't know why she picked you, Rob, but
I don't know. I wish she'd take me with her, though.
Yeah, but now she's going to take you back to a little charm school. I've always been telling you, you need a little charm school.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And some of her books, we need to talk about her books because she has written fantastic books that are out there. Be on Your Best Teenage Behavior. We'll discuss that. The Big Book of People Skills Games. Be on the Best Cultural Behavior.
Oh, yes, very important these days.
I think this one, Be on the Best Business Behavior.
Yes.
I think people just, you're in the world of customer service, Colleen. How important is customer service? Because so many companies, they built this culture, and you can't even talk to people. And one of the things I've tried to flourish within my business is to focus on customer service, make everybody feel special. But take us through how customer service has changed from the years before and how it looks now. And what advice do you give to businesses on this?
Keep customer service. And I know people are cutting back because of the expense of, maybe having a person as opposed to an automated telephone service. But at some point, let them touch somebody. Let somebody come in that has a human side to them. And people now are to the point where, especially maybe a little bit older people, they want customized service. If I walk into a store and I want to spend money on something, I'll maybe pay an extra couple dollars to get a little better quality of service when I walk out of there. Same way with restaurants, especially in our area here where there's competition for everything. So that's where the service will make the difference.
Yeah, I mean, our director of First Impressions, Gail, we call it, that's a name for a receptionist, but director of First Impressions. Gail's been with me 21 years, and when people sign those surveys after they close on their home loan, they always say one thing: love Gail. Love Gail. Love Gail. And that's what customer service is all about. And so many companies have just, it's voicemail this and voicemail that, and it's email this. And it's hard to email somebody when you're doing a $300,000 mortgage loan, let alone communicate with somebody on something else. But in today's world of, I want to go back to the teenage stuff. Now, my daughters are 25 and 24, but we all fall into this thing called texting. And some people would rather be text than talk to. Talk to about that, and what's that really lead to?
That's the way we are now. I mean, everything is technology, and it's only going to get, either you can say it's only going to get better, or it's only going to get worse, however you look at it. That's the way our world is now. But along with that, we're lacking all of our courtesies that go with it, because everything is so fast. You call someone, you want them to call you back right away. You text someone, you expect an immediate text back. Email is almost, that's almost going away now. Everything is texting, and, it's going from there. But now, even the other worst part of texting, instead of a word, you're getting a letter. Instead of a sentence, you're getting 2 words. Everything is being cut down. It's shorter and shorter and shorter. And so, and things with that, too, you lose the tone of the conversation. You have different interpretations of the way it's coming across, because what you're saying is not what people are reading, and what they're actually feeling is coming across from that. So it's just, we're losing too much with it. And I'm listening, as you went to commercial, that people do so many things now not face-to-face. They've lost that close interpersonal relationship. And one of the things is that people break up with people on the phone. People break up texting a person saying, well, it's over, we're done. You're supposed to text back and forth that you just broke up with somebody, or things that should be done face-to-face should remain face-to-face instead of doing it over a phone. That goes business-wise, and it goes personal.
Yeah, and I think, everything is an initial and abbreviation, and half the time on my text, I have to look back and say, now, what did you mean by that? What are those initials?
I have to Google the acronyms
sometimes,
too.
And some of them have 2 interpretations. It could be laughing out loud or love you lots. That's a big difference. I love you or I'm laughing at you, one or the other.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's true, because I could send an email to 5 different people, and 5 different people, the same email, they're all going to take it a different way. One of them I'm mad. One of them I'm upset. One of them I'm happy. One of them I'm all the way across the board. And that's the problem with text, the communication of the text, where you almost, it's humor, but you have to put laugh out loud afterwards. Otherwise, they're going to take it differently.
Yes. And that's, yes, do I text? Of course I text. But still, no one does any more letters or contracts. Everything that goes over the emails or by a text there. But there are certain things that you have to stop and say, no, this is something that's very personal, this is something that should be handled face-to-face, or this is something that should be handled over a phone call. You have to stop. And the other thing is, too, you need to remember what you're saying to a person within seconds. What you just said to them could be around the world. Just not to that person. The whole world's going to see it. And that's where the teenage comes in with the bullying, and people are, they're hurting other people's feelings, and they're not knowing that, where they get caught in this cycle of things where all of a sudden it starts to grow, and it's grown, and all of a sudden the feelings of another person are just left behind because they look cool, they want to get ahead, they want to be popular, whatever. And, well, if I say one more thing, if I add to it, if I expand on it, or I do this or that, and it's way out of control.
The Twitter people know well too well about that.
It does, and it's not just teenagers; it's everywhere. So when I wrote the book, it was for teenagers, but it was also for the parents.
Right, and celebrities.
Kind of a combination of both.
Celebrities need to read that book too.
So out of your books, which one did you like the most?
I think probably the one I like the most is my Be On Your Best Business Behavior, because it covers the day-to-day. It's every single thing people should be doing every day. It's your public etiquette. It's the way you dine. Dining etiquette, I got so many pet peeves on that. That's a whole other time for us to talk about. I got a lot of pet peeves on my dining etiquette.
Elbows off the table.
Exactly. And it's how you should dress, because there's a lot of different ways that, and we let ourselves get that way 15, 20 years ago. We went into this whole business casual, which if we would do business casual, it'd be one thing, but people have taken it to extremes into a casualty. And, it's just, we've gotten very, very sloppy with the way we dress for work and for play.
As Rodney stands here in his workout gear. Straight from the gym to the office.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, Rob was laughing at me because it's so true. In the old days, I wore suits every single day to work.
Correct.
And then we went to business casual, where it was slacks and all that. And then, but we went from seeing 100% of our customers, where only maybe 10 or 20% of our clients come into our office now.
Correct.
And so that has been a fundamental change. So then I went through, when times got a little bit tougher for people and all that, I went, okay, we can do jeans day, as long as it's nice jeans and no tennis shoes and anything like that.
Right.
So it is
exactly.
The world has changed so much, but business is still business. You still got to have that customer service aspect. You still got to be thinking about the customer is always number one and always put first. But does everybody have to be your customer?
You never know when you might meet a future one. When I travel, I always want to think that when I go to an airport, or when I get on a plane, when I'm sitting in that lobby, I never know who I'm going to meet. Okay. And when they say, "What do?" I want to extend my business card to them. I honestly get more business in an airport lobby than I do anyplace else, because I travel a lot. And when I say I teach etiquette, it always, that kind of throws people. But I want to be, not that I go in a business suit, but I have a nice, dress on, or a nice piece, nice pair of slacks on. I want to play my role, but I'm not there in a pair of, workout. No offense. But, I want to look nice, so when I meet it, that I look the role of what I do. Not that I'm overly dressed, but still, I'm not going to apologize. Oh, I got dressed real fast this morning. Or I just woke up, got out of bed and I didn't change, which you see people that look that way in airports, that they are in their pajamas and their slippers and all that. And I just think, I don't know if you remember, but we used to wear suits when we traveled. We used to be dressed up when we traveled. I don't say do that anymore, but
even
still
for
look
leisure
presentable.
Suits.
Right, and I agree with that. So, Colleen, we appreciate you being with us. People can hire you, companies can hire you to speak, you do coaching, you do so much out there for people.
All the above.
All the above. Colleen Rickenbacher is her name. We'd love to have you back. Thanks, Colleen. We appreciate you.
My pleasure.
She's got books. Go buy her books. I mean, they're fantastic. Be on your teenage best behavior, etiquette, and useful tips for teens. The Big Book of People Skills.
That's stuff we can all use.
Be on your best business behavior. A lot of people are out there. They're not always, you find yourself getting set in your ways. Be on your best business behavior. Hey, we appreciated her being on with us today. She's fantastic.